Hi everybody and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to wire in your dash cam using the supplied cigarette lighter. Now there is going to be another video on how to hardwire the dash cam in, so if you're interested in seeing that video you can look up here and there will be a link for that video, and there will also be a link for that same video at the end of this video. But let's get the camera moved and I'll show you what we're going to be doing here. All right, so I wanted to show everybody the difference between the standard mount and the GPS mount. This standard mount, the power comes in here at the left side, and the GPS power comes in from the top. So you've got to remember to keep a little extra of your power cable coming in, so when you end up having to clean your windshield, it's easy to unplug and unlock your dash cam so you can get it off the windshield. Now, a lot of cars are going to have this like material on the windshield. You're not going to want to be mounting your dash cam onto that because it doesn't stick all the time. So what I'll do is I'll be running right at the very edge of this material. So to start with, I'm in America and we have left-hand drive vehicles. So what we're going to do is we're going to install a dash cam over here on the right side. If you are overseas and you have a right-hand drive car, then you'll probably be installing your dash cam over on the left side. But here in America, I'm going to install it over on the right side. And the reason for that is that it keeps the dash cam out of your field of view. When I go to install this standard one, I'm going to bump it into the top of the headliner here. And I'm going to back it off about 1/4 inch. I'm going to unlock it, give a little press on it. You want to make sure that you're up and down good on it. And then we're going to lock this into place. I'm going to take our power cable for this and I'll plug this in here. And I'm going to make a loop. And I'm going to fold that loop up towards the windshield. And what I want to do is get this up behind the headliner. Now, some headliners are stiff and you won't be able to do it. And you can do a couple different things here. I have tools that I can use to get behind the headliner here. And I'll just pull it down a little bit and be able to get my wire back in there. But if you don't have something like a trim tool, you can use a spoon. So I'll just take a spoon and put back here and just bend the headliner down a little bit, and I'll push my line back behind it. And sooner or later I'll get on the opposite side of this and keep working my way into this corner. And just make sure that it's tucked up in there. I missed a spot here, so I just continue on. And I'm going to stop over this A-pillar. Now that I'm here by the A-pillar, I want that wire to get back behind here because I need to run over on this outside. So what I'm going to do is just force my fingers in behind that A-pillar a little bit, and I'm going to pop it free. I'm not taking it off, I'm just removing it enough where I can get the wire back behind here. So once I get the wire fed back behind here, I'm going to come over to the weather stripping. All right, now that I've got my wire over here, I'm going to grab my weather stripping. I'm just going to peel it back a little bit. I get my thumb back in here, and I'm going to grab on the outside of this up here on the weather stripping. and I'm just going to pop it down. And just going to walk it right down the door frame. Now, on the Subaru, you can pull the weather stripping off and put it back on pretty easily. But now I'm going to take my wire here and get it on the inside of my A-pillar. And then the A-pillar here, I'm just going to pop it back into place. And that part's done. I'm going to stop at this point, and I'm going to take my little screwdriver and we're going to go back behind this cover. There's 4 tabs in here, and just walk up the cover. You don't want to sit there and pry it till it breaks. And just remove that and put it aside for right now. But I will continue pulling the weather stripping down. And I'm only going to go as low as the glove box here, because that's where I'm going to run my wire through. Now we have the weather stripping all down. I'm going to take and tuck this wire into the A-pillar. You don't have to worry about if it starts falling down. Once you get it back there, you can always just guide as you're going, but now we're going to push the weather stripping back into place. The only thing you're doing is just sliding your thumb right down it. Just make sure you're back in the channel. Okay, let me move you down here really quick. I'm going to push this wire back a little bit. You'll see the tabs on the side. Most vehicles will have an area where you can just push this right in. But I'm going to take and run this all the way down the bottom of the glove box. And then I'm just going to start pushing the weather stripping back on. Use the thumb, the back of your hand. Just make sure it's all seated back in place. Just when all that's back on, you'll see the 4 little tabs here. We're just going to take and line those tabs back up. Make sure they're all lined up. And pop that back into place. Now we're going to come across the bottom of the glove box, and there's going to be 2 options or 2 different ways you can actually do this. So let's get the camera moved and we'll take a look at that. All right, so here we are at the bottom of the glove box. Now I'm sure you could pop the grommets out holding this bottom plate. There's 3 of them. And you could just lower that down and put it up underneath there. It's about 25 degrees outside right now, and I know it's cold. And on my vehicle, I'm sure if I try and pop those grommets, they're just going to snap. So what I'm going to do is run it down this side here. And it'll be fine just up above this whole cover. It'll be out of the way, and no one will have to worry about it. And see that little foot there? I'll actually be coming up above that. So let me tuck this away for you. So what I'll do is just run her down here, going up above that first little click here, her little leg, and I'm going to make sure I'm going all the way down the back side here. You see that little foot that this rests on? I'm going to be up above that as well. And I'll walk it around this corner. I'm going to make sure all my wires are up above. I'll just run my hand around the back side and push all the wires up above on that plate. Now here's where the center console starts. And I'm just going to take and run that wire. I'll lift it back a little bit and I'm going to bring it back behind the center console. Okay, now that we're here with our cable, we have a couple different choices to make. You have somewhere where you can plug it in up here, or you're gonna just go in here. Now that extra wire, if you're gonna go right up here by your gear selector, just coil it up, put a little piece of black tape on it, a rubber band or something, and then just push up on the side somewhere out of the way. Or you can even coil it up in here, you know, up in this area. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it back and put it in my center console. All right, so now that I'm going to go to the rear of my console, I'm just going to take and tuck my wire the rest of the way underneath the console here. And then I'm just going to pop up right. I'm just going to pop up right here. Open up my outlet and plug that in. Now there is one other thing that's nice about this cigarette lighter adapter too, is you can open up that cover and you have another USB plug-in for your car. So there you go, closed, all tucked away. No one's going to bother the wire. If you're worried about someone hitting this wire, take and put a little tiny piece of black tape on there so it doesn't get caught on anything. But I can't really foresee it getting caught on anything. All right, so now you take and hook the dash cam up. Now remember, this isn't going to work unless we have the key on. There you go. And that's it. That's all there is to it. It's that simple to install. So if you've been holding off on buying a dash cam because you believe you're going to have to pay someone to install it, you can see how easy it is to install a dash cam yourself. Anyone can do it. It's that simple. If you're interested in learning how to hardwire this dash cam to get a little more functionality out of it, like using the parking mode, there's also a link at the end of this video for that installation. That's it for today. Take care, buddy, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.